What's going on, guys? Coach Matt and YouGoProBaseball.com here with the man, Josh Cathcart. We're at the Hardball Academy in Houston, Texas, just south of Houston, Pearland, Texas. Not so many pears around here.
Not too many pears. A lot of mosquitoes, but not too many pears.
But some really great hitting information coming out of this building and on YouTube. He's got a great YouTube channel. He's the Baseball Doctor on YouTube, Instagram, all around the internet. Definitely suggest checking him out. I'll leave a link down below where you can do that. But what I wanted you to talk about in this video is kind of tell us your story of how you got here, and more importantly, why you do what you do, the hitting drills. You got a lot of great hitting drills. We shot a bunch of videos about hitting drills, and I kind of want you to explain the process of why you use some tools that you use, and talk about the mechanics that you do and how you've used them to help yourself and your players get better, and just kind of give us the whole thing.
Gotcha. Well, my story isn't a glamorous one. You know, I don't have a big league story. It's not one of these where, oh, I was a D1 recruit and then I went and played and then I was drafted. That's not how this went. I think my story is probably the more normal path. Okay, obviously I'm a smaller guy. In high school I was even smaller. So I really had to learn how to be a good hitter. I couldn't just muscle the baseball, right? And for me, that was figuring out how my body worked. And back then, you know, I graduated high school in 1998. We didn't have all the slow motion video. We didn't have all the connection balls. We didn't have all the stuff, the gadgets, the widgets, the tools, the whatever you want to call them. We didn't have all that. We had to figure it out on our own. And while we figured it out to some level, I sure do wish I would have had somebody that could have showed me all of these things, okay? So back then, I would use, you know, cinder blocks for my back foot. I figured out from a pretty young age in high school that we don't want to just spin on our back foot, that there has to be a drive move. Well, how can I get that done if I can't really feel it? Stick a cinder block behind. If I turn my heel, I ran into a big concrete block, it didn't feel good. I learned how to create a weightless backside with hips. Okay, that's just one example. So all the way through high school, up in my sophomore year, I was what I would consider a pretty good middle infielder, but it was real embarrassing starting at second base and then the announcer saying DHing for the second baseman, yada, yada, yada. Okay, that was a hit to the ego. I didn't want to be that guy. I wanted to be an all-around player. So between my sophomore and junior year in high school, I really got after hitting, okay? I got a self-feeding wiffle ball machine in my garage. I started reading books on it. I started really diving in as much video as I could, watching the guys. Tony Gwynn, Pete Rose were the two that I kind of, you know, put my swing together after. It was a more direct path, on plane, line drives. It wasn't any of this launch angle, try to hit the ball out of the ballpark. That wasn't conducive to my body type. Then, as I got older, I got into college, the game was taken away pretty quick. I got hurt my freshman year, and from that point I decided, hey, I'm not going to play anymore. I didn't want to go through the rehab. I wasn't on a scholarship. They weren't begging to get me back or anything like that. So how am I going to teach young players the proper mechanics? I figured there were two choices. I could spend countless hours with young guys who may not be the best athletes, didn't have the best body control, and we could talk about, okay, well, you need to do this, you need to do this, this then happens, and just basically swing and figure it out, and it'll take you however long it takes you. That's not very efficient, number one. It's very frustrating to young players, and while I'm not shying them away from working hard, you also don't want to shatter a young player's spirit by making this so difficult that they're in tears or whatever else it is. Also got to keep them engaged, okay? There are not a majority, there are a number of people out in the hitting world, especially on the internet, that think all of these tools and gadgets and everything else are kind of ridiculous, okay? They think it's for clicks on Instagram or likes on Facebook or subscribers on YouTube. And I just don't see it that way. I don't understand why it is a bad thing for us to make hitting more enjoyable for young hitters. Okay? If you're a top-level athlete and you have body control and you have body awareness and you have balance and you have strength, you probably don't need a stability ball between your legs. or a connection ball holding your arms, or a balance beam to hit on. But if you're a young kid or you're not athletic, those props, those tools, those things help you get the body into the correct position. Once the body's in the correct position, y'all, good things happen naturally a lot more often. When good things are happening, that builds confidence. Once you have confidence, now when I come up to this tee and put a swing on it, I feel better about myself, okay, as a hitter. I want to come back. I want to learn, okay? There are hitters that I have. I've got high school guys that are D1 recruit caliber guys right now. I'm not putting PVC in their hands every day. I'm not putting a stability ball between their legs every day. I'm not using a connection ball every day. We get in, we talk hitting. We talk approach. We talk playing match. We talk, pitch recognition. We talk being on time. But for your young kids, and here is just fact, when young kids start to play baseball, it's because they think it's easy. Okay? You tell me, would I rather stand here with a ball on a tee, inside in the AC, swinging a bat, or would I rather go out in 100-degree heat, 10 pounds of pads, and run into each other? Okay? Most kids are going to pick baseball. I want to do this. But they're not athletic. Your truly athletic young kids, football, track, soccer, basketball. And then they're like, oh, my friends are playing, so let's go try baseball. Ha, joke's on you, because this is the hardest thing to do in all of sports, is to hit a baseball. Okay? It may not be the hardest thing to do when you're in Little League, but at a professional level, this is it. The only other comparison that may be up there is NFL quarterback. Okay? Those guys are on a different planet. But hitting a baseball takes extreme athleticism, and when something takes extreme athleticism and we're not an extreme athlete, we need the tools. Okay? And that's where I come in. I wasn't that top-level guy. I needed those things so that I could understand what my body was doing, sequencing, and then what works. If something didn't work after a while, I stopped, I found something else. And that's all I'm trying to do with these players, is give young guys who may not be the top-level athlete for their age the ability to build confidence. And if I can do that in a 30-minute session with a prop or a tool or a restraint, I'm going to do it 100 times out of 100, other than let that kid get frustrated, have him coming back in here, and what takes us, one day with a prop takes us a month or 2 months without them. Okay? So I am in 100% agreement that there is some crazy stuff out there that I would never do, but the fact that we should get rid of props, some of these guys are out here, oh, we don't need that, just put a tee, move it around, and you're going to be good. I got news for you. That doesn't work with a large percent of young players who are just starting to play this game. That mentality will work with your higher level high school on up. Hey, this is what we need to do. Control the body, find an approach. But for young kids that don't have any awareness, don't have that body control, I'm going to use props all day long and not feel bad about it.
And that is one of the things that I love about you. That's why I flew out here. That's what I love. The stuff that you're putting out is all great stuff, nothing gimmicky, because I can tell from the way you speak and the way you interact with the guys that I see you on video, on your Instagram, YouTube and stuff, is that your whole passion and goal is to try to help those guys get better.
Absolutely.
And whenever that's your intention, and I can tell you're an open book too, like trying to learn. Like you said in the beginning, you were trying to learn and figure it out for yourself. And all you're doing now is trying to help those guys have the most success. So
expedite that process. I went through the grind. It's hard enough as it is. Let's try to give you something that you can work with and know that you're doing it right. That's the thing, is understanding that you're doing the drill right. And if it takes a connection ball to get you in the right position, by all means, I can do 10 connection ball turns, or I can do 50 wrong, and now I'm worse off than I was when I started. And it's different for every player.
I was just going to say that. Just like you mentioned before in previous videos, not every single drill is going to be for every single guy. Different guys have different issues. We were talking about the flaws and the fixes, right?
Yes.
For different flaws, there's different fixes. And the fixes could be different for each guy, even with the same flaw.
And there's 10 different ways to say, okay, get the same thing done. And that's where the coach, player relationship comes in. I'm going to tell you things a couple different ways, and we're going to try this. You tell me when the light bulb goes off.
Right.
And now I know, okay, for you, all I have to say is, take your back shoulder through the ball, or keep your chest on the ball, or whatever it may be. So yeah, this is what I have found to be productive for the young ones. And like I said earlier, finding confidence in what you're doing at the plate is the number one thing. And we all know that. If you've played this game at any level, it doesn't matter if it's T-ball. Confidence at the plate is where success is made. And if me giving a kid a tool for a little bit is going to build that confidence every single time.
That's awesome stuff. Yeah. If you guys want to check out more of Josh's stuff, great information on his YouTube channel, The Baseball Doctor. I'll leave the link down below. Go over there, subscribe to his channel, click the bell notification button so you're notified every time he uploads a new video. He's got some great stuff coming out. And thank you so much for watching. If you want to get in touch with Josh, you can check him out on the website. What's the website?
We got the website. It's www.baseball-doctor.com. And you can also email me. It's baseballdoctor8@gmail.com. And I do the best to get back with everybody. It's one of the things I kind of pride myself on. All right, if you try to get connected with me, I am going to get back with you. I promise you. It may be 2 or 3 days, but I will get back with you. I love talking hitting, especially when it pertains to the younger guys.
And, of course, if you guys are in the Houston area, come check him out. He's just a little bit south of
Come on down.
And get you some training with the man.
Yep, there we go.
Thank you so much for watching, guys.
Thank y'all.